And Slate.
Hey everyone. Welcome to Training Tuesday. I am Ryan. This is Kyle Radiker. And we are excited to be on with you today. We're going to give everybody just a few minutes to pop on and see who we have on. And you may want to get a pen, piece of paper, wherever you take your green compass notes, because this is a topic that is, hey Erica, how are ya? Happy traveling to you. This is a topic that we get a lot of individual questions about, and it's honestly hard, or it's been difficult for me to reach out to everyone and answer their individual questions. So we decided that we do a Tuesday training on CBD as it pertains to nutrition and fitness, and specifically athletes, because those are all the types of people that we see every day. So, should we just dive in?
Let's dive in.
Okay. All right. We have Erica on. 11 people. Here we go. All right. So this topic could take hours, and we will not do that because we don't have hours, and I know you don't either. So what we've done is broken kind of the weight loss, nutrition, fitness, performance into very basic categories for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about weight loss, fat loss, not weight loss, and nutrition as it pertains to CBD. And then Kyle is going to talk about athletes and the training aspect. Like I said, this is a very long topic. So we're just going to hit a couple of bullet points for those of you who can take some notes. And then, because I know a lot of you have clients that have these kind of questions, and in fact, a lot of you, work in fitness facilities or work with clients of your own. So hopefully, this will be a good tool for you to basic information without being too scientific for people. Really.
Without being too scientific.
Yeah, which is really our problem. So I have my notes because I will go off on a tangent, and I don't want to do that. So.
And she wrote me notes too.
Yes, I wrote him some notes. Okay. So first, I want to talk a little bit about when we're talking about weight loss. That's a hot topic. Obviously, you can Google weight loss and come up with a thousand different things, but weight loss and nutrition. So really, what it boils down to, and this is very basic, and then we get into many layers of this, is if you are taking in more calories than you are expending, there is no way for you to lose weight, okay? That's just how it is. So no product, no shake, no CBD oil, nothing is going to make you lose weight. Nothing is actually going to help you burn fat either. That's your job. That's the human body. There's no such thing as a fat burner. There's no such thing as a magic pill. There's no such thing as this potion. Okay, so calories in versus calories out, and we test that for people every day. CBD is, or maybe we're trying to be very compliant, maybe a wonderful appetite suppressant. So when you're talking about weight loss, that is one thing that may help in your goal. It can be a tool in your toolbox. It is not going to make you lose weight. If you're taking in more calories than you're expending, you're not going to be able to lose weight. So CBD can help you in regulating those calories. And once you know how many you're supposed to be taking in versus how many you're supposed to be taking out, or expending, then CBD may help you with that. Okay, so that's one tool. I could go off in another direction about, what is most important, nutrition or exercise, and obviously nutrition is the most important piece of a fitness routine. You cannot exercise your way. You can't eat thousands and thousands of calories and exercise your way into weight loss. It's got to be nutrition first, then exercise, okay? So this is just basic stuff. So one way that CBD can help you in reach your weight loss goal is it may help you suppress your appetite, which in turn helps you eat less calories than you are, then you're
burning.
Yes, my brain. I was watching people like it. My brain went off
It
in
looks
another direction.
squirrel. There's a squirrel over there.
Right. So that's appetite suppressant, okay?
All right, so let me jump in here really
Yes.
quickly. I'm going to try to package up what Ryan just said there. In quick talk, this is what we do every day. So when it comes to weight loss and fat loss, it is a math equation, all right? So you're going to hear a bunch of experts and gurus and all sorts of weight loss people and nutritionists tell you, well, it's not necessarily calories in, it's calories out, it's how your hormones respond. The word insulin comes up like there's a magic
Talk about that too. Yeah.
Fairy who does insulin and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's calories in versus calories out. That is the what behind weight loss, and who cares about weight loss? We're talking about fat loss. So if that's the what, the next question is, well, how? How do I do that? So how is by controlling calories. So you have calories in, which is the food you eat, protein, carbohydrate, and fat, versus the way that we have calories out, which is your resting metabolic rate, which is, your basal metabolic functioning, such as keeping your brain, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, red blood cell reproduction, immune system, gallbladder, pituitary gland, and lean mass operating and going. So what else goes into calories out? TEF, thermogenic effect of food. So when you eat foods, you burn calories. It's about 10% of what you eat. We could break it down further if that's of interest to people. And then finally, there's activity calories. There's not planned activity, known as NEAT, right? So that's non-exercise activity thermogenesis. How many calories do you burn when you're not at rest? So walking the dog, going to the bank, going to the grocery store, picking up the mail, etc.
Yeah.
And then there's planned activity. So that's exercise and training for whatever it may be, for aesthetic purposes, for athletic performance. So that's kind of the foundation of where Ryan and I kind of meet people where they're at.
Oh my gosh.
Right, proper grammar there.
Meet people where they are.
Meet people where they are, meet people where they're at, so that they can get in where they fit in. And so then you have get in where they fit in, depending on what it is for health and wellness purposes, aesthetics,
Exactly.
weight loss, fat loss, and then improve performance in athletics.
Yeah, and so CBD can be a tool in that. And so when you're, not only is it a math equation, but then you've got to take into all these other factors, like you've got metabolic disorders, thyroid issues, hormonal imbalances, insulin resistance, insulin issues. And the second thing that CBD can help with is it may be able to regulate some of these issues. So it's not going to go in and fix your issue. I'm not telling you to get off of your insulin medication or your thyroid medication. Hear me clearly. But it really may help go balance these issues. So if you've got any of these issues working against you while also trying to lose weight or lose fat, get fit, whatever your goal is, then it can really be a tool to accelerate those. So when we say weight loss, and this is the other part of the nutrition weight loss question that people always say, when people come in and say, I want to lose weight, no, you don't want to lose weight, you want to lose fat. So really what you're saying is it doesn't matter what you weigh on the ground, what the number you weigh is, you want to take up less space, right? So you want to have more lean muscle mass and less fat. That's what everybody's goal is, right? So, and we could get, that's a whole other conversation, but CBD, how it pertains to that is there are two types of fat cells that your body has. You have white fat cells and you have brown fat cells. Okay, so white is bad, brown is good, okay? So white fat cells are responsible for storing and supplying energy. They go in, they cushion your organs. Most Americans, most people have too much of it, okay? And it's stored fat. And that's just a basic layman's terms. We could get into scientific, but I'm not. The good fat is the brown fat, and healthy weight people tend to have more brown fat cells than white. You can convert, the good news is you can convert the bad to the good. But the way you can do that, there's several ways. One is exercise, obviously. One is exposing yourself to extreme cold temperatures. One is getting enough sleep. There are several things. CBD is being researched and is very promising and is maybe extremely helpful, that's a compliant way, into converting these white fat cells to brown fat cells. That's amazing because we're constantly, that's what people are chasing, right? How do I get my stored fat? How do I use it for energy instead of it sitting on my body? So CBD may be a good tool in the fat loss process. Again, Doesn't matter what you weigh, you want to lose fat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, also, one point is, I did want you to know, and many of you probably know this, but I get this question a lot. Should I take my CBD with food or without food? And I've always said it really doesn't make too much of a difference, but really new research is coming out and saying if you take it with food, and particularly high-fat food, it may quadruple the absorption rate, which I just think is fascinating. So obviously, they're good high-fat foods. I'd rather you have it with an avocado than a donut, so make good choices there.
All right, so here's the little science. CBD is liposomal. It loves to interact with fat. The fat can carry it through your system and deliver it better, which is a wonderful reason to look at what the carrier oil is of the CBD that you're using. We're fortunate to have CBD that uses MCT as its carrier oil. And the cool thing about MCT is it kind of bypasses normal digestive processes and goes to the liver. And the liver can break the MCT down into ketones, which is a wonderful energy molecule for the body to burn off versus store, while liberating the CBD to go to work in the parts of your body that it potentially can work in.
Yeah. So also one other thing about nutrition, and then I'm going to give it to Kyle with the athletes, because really, we always say the best diet in the world is the one that you'll do, right? So we could say, oh, you should be plant-based, oh, you should be keto, oh, you should be paleo. It's very individual and very specific. So obviously CBD can't go in and help and remedy all the nutritional mistakes that you're making every day, but it can help you. It can go into your gut and help you absorb your nutrients better. And that's just very basic, because we know your gut is your second brain, and CBD is a regulator of your gut. So it's helpful. It's not going to go in and say, if you're eating more than you should, or if you're eating the wrong foods, CBD is not going to be your magic cure. Okay, this is just a tool. CBD being a tool in your health and wellness arsenal. Yeah, exactly. So Kyle's going to talk about athletes, because we work with a ton of athletes every day, and how it pertains to helping them recover and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so trying to keep this as a simple kind of talk and presentation. Think about athletic performance and think about improving performance. And then immediately we think about exercise and training. And so what is the equation for effective training or for effective exercise to improve performance? And what that is it's stress. So exercise is stressful to the body. Rest, so that you can recover and then repeat. So stress, rest, recover, repeat. And so let's think about stress in that equation. What happens when you stress the body out is you're going to get some sort of a response, and inflammation is going to be what is the responder. Wouldn't it be cool if we had some sort of a supplemental molecule that could go into the body, influence the immune system, which is responsible for the inflammation response? So inflammation, complex, difficult to explain to people, but not if you bring it to someone's attention from the standpoint of it's just your immune system trying to help your body recover. Well, CBD does interact with and influence the immune system. So inflammation is a positive response in the body. The challenge is when there's too much inflammation and then your body is stressed in trying to deal with that. So we know that CBD is supportive of the immune system and therefore supportive of inflammation. Quick note, the Food and Drug Administration Agency or whatever has not reviewed these statements, so we are not saying anything in and of ourselves as doctors or anything like that. We're just telling you what some of the literature points to. So that's the stress and the inflammation response. So then rest. Well, how do we rest? Sleep is the best way in the world that somebody can rest to recover from any activity that they've been involved with. And so when we say improved performance, y'all, everybody's improved performance, aren't they? I mean, if I'm training an athlete or a triathlete who wants to get better and faster at swim, bike, run, or a runner specifically, or a CrossFit athlete, They're trying to improve a measurable or quantifiable performance. How many reps can they do? How fast or how quickly can they race? But what about being a better mom? I mean, isn't that improved performance? Don't you want to perform well in your day-to-day activity? There's really no difference. So improved performance lives on a continuum of life to athletics, and all
Whatever
of us
it is
fall
you're
somewhere.
trying to get better.
Right, so fall somewhere in there. So
Right.
rest is hugely important to that. So sleep is your number one way to rest, and we know that CBD is highly supportive of being able to get into deep sleep, which is that reparative or restorative state of sleep that is so important for anybody. I mean, athletes absolutely need to sleep well to be able to recover and have their body rejuvenate itself. So then recover. What happens with muscle tissue and lactate clearing and aerobic capacity building? There's lots of terms we could throw in, but I'm going to throw one at you that we can break down, and that is this. It really comes down to nutrient partitioning. Food is fuel. Different kinds of food have different purposes to go into your body and support different functioning. So hormone response is hugely important in how your food, how nutrient partitioning is going to occur. So what is that in the body? Well, that's your endocrine system. Wouldn't it be cool if there was an energy molecule that we could take in that would support proper functioning of hormones so that amino acids could be broken down and help repair muscle, so that glucose and glycogen from carbohydrate could get shuttled into where it needs to be, which is in the muscle and the liver. And finally, that fat could be broken down and utilized, kind of what Ryan was just talking about, as whether it goes to stored fat or thermic fat, fat that is wasted easily as an energy molecule and to produce heat in the body. Oh wait, CBD does that. So especially when it comes to fat, y'all, fat is highly interactive with and important for hormone response, and CBD goes in and really helps with that. And then finally, rinse and repeat, right? Stress, rest, recover, repeat the process. So good nutrition supported by effective supplements that are going to go into your body and help the processes and the systems that are already there going into play. We also know that in helping with inflammation, it prevents athletes from needing to use a steroid-based inflammation type of medicine or molecule or supplement, however you want to look at that.
Yes.
May help and aid in that, but it definitely can be an alternative to a steroid. I know that a lot of athletes come to us and talk about what's going on in their digestive system and having an upset stomach. A lot of the athletes that I work with, if they're high performing, they have lactic acid. It's really not lactic acid, y'all. It's lactate, but we're going to call it that anyway. And so it goes in and it can be upsetting to your stomach, but CBD has been shown to be possibly supportive to that pathway and that process. So a couple things there. As an alternative to opioids and pain relief, CBD seems to be potentially helpful there. So now you're being able to not use a substance that creates some dependency and some issues, and really isn't something that you want to be taking all the time as a main staple and part of your process and in your program. Other notes, and Ryan and I were talking about this actually right before we came on, is what's going on with CBD in kind of the world and these governing bodies that influence what happens with athletes in particular.
Right.
So we have WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Association, which cleared CBD in 2018. So from a World Anti-Doping Association view, CBD gets the thumbs up.
Yeah.
What does that mean for athletes and governing boards such as PGA, so golf, LPGA, USTA tennis? These are agencies that have already now said, okay, CBD is something that can be used by athletes participating under their sanctioned rules and regulations. What about more high-profile type of boards and associations like the NFL? Does the NFL clear CBD? Not yet, but there's a lot of talk and people that are looking at it and are supposing that when the NFL goes into their discussions in the offseason of 2020 to 21, there have been so many athletes that have petitioned to the NFL that it looks like it's going to be cleared. Why? Because so many people are understanding now the difference between THC and CBD and plants that are utilized for this now extraction, which is marijuana or cannabis versus hemp. And so really getting a positive effect and response now as people learn and educate themselves the benefits of CBD, a cousin to THC, but not from a performance enhancement type of a scenario or something that would otherwise be an illegal substance. So
because too, what we're finding is it's helping recovery of the athlete, and that's really, we say all the time it's effort, but really it's the recovery of the effort that is the predictor of your fitness.
Right.
You know, how quickly and how well you can recover from something. And CBD is just, being proven to aid in that recovery for the athletes. And all that to say, like with the inflammation and the pain and everything. But yeah, the faster and better you can recover from something, the better you can get right back into it. So that's how
they want to be able to
it.
rinse and repeat faster. So
exactly.
Rest, recover, so you can train again.
Yeah.
Or compete again.
And two athletes, a lot of people say that the CBD helps with, obviously if you are going into a competition of any kind, we have a lot of competitors that are, running races and all sorts of arenas here, that it helps, it may help with their kind of take the edge off that performance anxiety.
Yeah.
So for an athlete or anyone trying to perform better in their life in any capacity, CBD is it's an amazing tool that we have. And we happen to have the best kind, obviously, Green Compass, because like we said, it's the perfect oil and the perfect carrier. And I hope that this helps some people when you're having conversations with your athletes, your nutrition clients, just people every day. Somebody might say, well, can this make me lose weight? No, it can't make you lose weight, but it absolutely can be a tool in your cabinet.
Right.
If
in
that
your
makes
arsenal.
sense. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope this helps. I hope Tuesday training helps, and I hope we get some good questions. And we can post some. I have a great. We have some research that I send to people when they ask these questions that we can post in the comments, but I may need to get those approved first. So if you want to message me individually, I can shoot those to you. And yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you'll have a great rest of your Tuesday. Bye from Charleston.